Our season of plays offers 6 timeless stories full of love, humor, passion, and even terror that will transport us to places that we've only dreamed of or dared not imagine, while still examining some of the most urgent and crucial questions that we face today as a society. Each play looks at theater classics, history, or archetypes of the Western world and endeavors to see them through a new light. Classic stories reassembled. Our first director of the season, Keith Barker, is an Algonquin Métis playwright, actor, and theater director, a finalist for the Governor-General's Award for English Drama in 2018, and the current artistic director of Native Earth Performing Arts in Toronto. Keith will guide our studio ensemble through one of Western theater's earliest comedies, retold for today. 2 humans seeking a better way of life arrive in the fabled land of the birds. Soon they begin to recreate this paradise in their own image with no regards for the occupants of the land. The Birds by Yvette Nolan is a potent adaptation of Aristophanes' classic comedy. Resituated to Turtle Island, it considers the indigenous settler relationship and respect for our land. And here's a few words from director Keith Barker.
Hi, my name is Keith Barker. I'm the artistic director at Native Earth Performing Arts. I'm also the director for this year's production of The Birds, which is an adaptation by Yvette Nolan of Aristophanes, the play The Birds. Well, it was first performed in 414 BCE, if you believe in that kind of thing. And it is considered one of the oldest surviving comedies. It's written and adapted by one of Canada's leading Indigenous female playwright. I think Yvette has done a fantastic job about bringing it into the present day with her adaptation. It's going to be a challenge for the actors, equally as challenging for the creative team as we discover the world of the birds. Really great story that I think people should come and enjoy. I look forward to possibly meeting you or seeing you at the theater and bringing these characters to life. See you soon. Bye.
We very much look forward to sharing this project led by 2 of the nation's leading Indigenous theater artists.
Our next director is well known to Victoria audiences. Glynis Lation was the artistic director of the Belfry for 11 seasons. She has directed from across the country, including projects for the Shaw Festival, Canadian Stage, National Arts Centre, and for the Pacific Opera Victoria. Glynis and our students will dive into another very unique play, part Gothic romance, part pandemic horror story, just a little light-hearted bit in the middle of November. A deadly and mysterious plague erupts across the world. A small town in Saskatchewan finds the Spanish flu knocking at its door. Unity 1918 by Kevin Kerr is infused with a biting dark humor and a deeply human touch. This Governor-General Award-winning play tells the story of ordinary townsfolk quarantined under the shadow of death. Is there love and hope enough to, in the face of the unknown? A few words from Glynis.
Love Unity 1918 for a lot of reasons. It's a strong play. It is moving. Young person's story and a young person sharing of their story. I think this will be the right kind of challenge for them. That thread of what fear can do, how it can tear apart or it can knit together. I find the articulate nature of students now is extraordinary, and it's something that feeds me and excites me and challenges me, so it's great.
Glynis's long-standing relationship with the playwright Kevin Kerr also means our students will have kind of a rare experience to be able to engage with a living writer as well here in the city.
In our next director, we're very pleased to welcome a nationally renowned local theater artist to the college for the first time. Janet Munsell is a playwright and director, a Governor-General's Award finalist, with plays produced across Canada and more than 60 productions worldwide. She served as artistic director and producer at Intrepid Theatre for 25 years. Some of her recent directing includes the Victoria Shakespeare Festival, and this season she will take us on a delicious Shakespearean romp down a modern rabbit hole. A beleaguered academic and unlikely heroine is convinced that Shakespeare's Othello and Romeo and Juliet were never meant to be tragic. A magical manuscript sweeps her through time and space on a quest for Shakespearean origins and ultimately her own identity. Good Night, Desdemona, Good Morning, Juliet by Anne-Marie MacDonald is an exuberant Governor-General's Award-winning comedy that questions what may have been lost in translation with all those classic tropes. A few words from Jen.
Anne-Marie MacDonald's play dares to mess with 2 of the Bard's great tragedies and the conventions of the Elizabethan stage to surprise us with insights about the female characters and humor that's both sharp and silly. Are you okay with that? He's okay with that.
Our Year 2 plays are presented in repertory, and I look forward to working closely with you, as our next college director is also directing at the college for the very first time, me. The students and I will explore a timeless parable of morality and a scorching indictment of intolerance. The Puritan town of Salem, Massachusetts appears to be beset by evil acts of witchcraft. An accusation explosively turns the community upon itself, consuming the guilty and the innocent alike. The Crucible by Arthur Miller is a Pulitzer Prize-winning, gripping commentary on the consequence of religious intolerance and the abuses of power. Here are a few words from me.
And unpack a really dense and exciting and rich and still very timely piece of theater. I'll be directing The Crucible.
Yeah, we know. Okay, good. Thanks. I think you've heard enough from me.
You might not say it, but for those who don't know, Caleb's formerly spent several seasons at the Stratford Festival with the artistic producer of Theatre New Brunswick and was the artistic executive director at Sudbury Theatre Centre. So our next director has also been an artistic director across the country. Roy Surrett was Touchstone Theatre's artistic director in Vancouver from 1984 to 1997. He returned to Touchstone in 2017 after 20 years, 10 which he spent working as the artistic director at the Belfry Theatre, and 10 at the helm of Montreal's esteemed Centaur Theatre. So Roy will guide us through a love that transcends, a secret kept in the shadows. In the summer of 1953, Margaret and her daughter Clara are on a trip to Florence. After a chance meeting, Clara, who has been ever under the watchful eye of her mother since an accident, falls deeply in love with a handsome local man from Italy, leaving Margaret to make the decision that will determine her daughter's fate. The Light in the Piazza is a musical that shines light on truths unsaid, and here's a message from Roy.
I'm really looking forward to being back in Victoria and directing The Light in the Piazza for CCPA Company C. This is a beautiful, it's perhaps the most romantic musical I could ever imagine. Set in Italy in the 1950s, a great love story, and some beautiful music. I can't wait to be spending January imagining the summer climes of Florence. So join us, The Light in the Piazza. Ciao.
Our final show of this season shows us how the journey of this life and career can take you full circle. Jessica Hickman is the co-artistic director of Open Pit Theatre in Whitehorse, also an independent director, choreographer, teacher, performer, and producer. She's been teaching movement here at the college for over 7 years and is a CCPA alumni herself. Marking the first time an alumni has directed the year-end show here at CCPA. We are closing the season with the hit musical about the power of the underdog. Disney's Newsies is the exuberant story of a paperboy, Jack Kelly, and the orphan and runaway Newsies on the streets of 1899 New York. When the titans of publishing raise prices at the cost of their livelihood, Jack marches forward to fight for what is right. It's a Tony Award-winning musical, holds a timeless message for the whole family. In Jessica's words,
Newsies is a beautiful story, more than anything else. As we all know, it's a story of struggle, of risk, of coming together with like-minded people. It's a story of passion, of evoking change. I think that a lot of the themes in Newsies are still relevant today. I think that there are people on the margins of society that are socially unaccepted that are still needing to come together to fight for what they believe is right, what they believe is they deserve and what they do deserve. I think it's a great show for today. I think it's a great show for our students at CCPA, and I think it's a great show for our audiences. I think it's a story that we need to be reminded of.
Endeavoring to see through a new light, see cutting comedies where classics are reimagined. The Birds considers the Indigenous settler relationship, while Goodnight Desdemona and Good Morning Juliet is a hilarious feminist revisioning that questions power, identity, and what may have been lost in translation. Our two hit musicals are about dreaming more for yourself than people thought you capable. Light in the Piazza is a love story for anyone viewed as different, while Newsies inspires everyone to unite and fight for what's right. Communities banding together is also put to the test in Unity 1918, where love and hope must face the unknown. And in The Crucible, where religious intolerance goes to extremes, the power of community coming together and the danger of going too far. A rich balance of comedy, music, drama that attempts to see things from both sides. Classic stories reassembled. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2019 2020 season. Please join us in an extraordinary gathering.